COSATU President speaks out on service delivery in the Eastern Cape, and Australia's Speaker of Parliament steps down. Good afternoon. COSATU President Dumo Dlamini says it's a shame that municipalities around Bondoland in the Eastern Cape, the birthplace of the longest-serving ANC leader, cannot even offer its residents the most basic of services. Dlamini was in Flagstaff for a COSATU rally which focused on service delivery, the e-tolling system and labour brokers. The area is the late Oliver Tambo's home. The non-availability of water is a clear illustration that service delivery is lacking. Dlamini has challenged municipalities around Bondoland to immediately begin to deliver services to the people.
Mampondweni, it's where Oliver Tambo comes from. What do we say when we see this? It is so sad, and I hope that our local government, provincial government of the Eastern Cape is going to prioritize this area and other areas similar to Flagstaff for people to can have basic necessities which they don't have here.
About 67 learners from the Bilots Combined School at Sinsay in East London have been admitted to various hospitals after suspected food poisoning. Health Department spokesperson Sizwe Kupelo says some were treated and discharged yesterday, and those who are still in hospitals are likely to be discharged soon. He says clinical investigations are being conducted to determine the cause of their condition, which included diarrhea and vomiting.
In the recent past, we have treated just over 1,000 school children presenting with similar symptoms. It's a concern for us. We have had to dispatch officials to go to some of these schools to conduct investigations. In one school, we identified the root cause of the problem because it was confirmed that they were exposed to E. coli and Klebsiella bacteria.
A special team has been set up to track down the gang of suspects involved in last night's robbery and shootout at a shopping centre in Fourways, north of Johannesburg. A group of men made off with an undisclosed amount of money and robbed several customers of their cell phones and wallets. The police's Bala Murta says when officers got to the scene, a shootout ensued. One suspect was arrested and his firearm was confiscated.
The suspects, in the attempt to flee, also hijacked a motor vehicle which was recovered. Members of Douglas Bay SAPS Detective Branch have now put up a team together and they are busy searching for the suspects.
Yet another ATM has been blown up in Cape Town, this time in Ottery in the southern suburbs. Police and forensic investigators are still at the scene. In the past 2 months, at least 10 incidents of ATM bombings have occurred in the Cape Peninsula. Police spokesperson Andre Trout says the robbers fled with an undisclosed amount of cash.
The circumstances surrounding the blast at the ATM in Crossy Park are being investigated. At approximately 5 o'clock, a bank situated on the corner of the and Ottery Street was blown up by armed robbers.
On the international front, the Speaker of Parliament in Australia, Peter Slipper, has temporarily stepped down over allegations that he sexually harassed another man. Slipper, who is married, is accused of propositioning a gay former member of staff. The BBC's Duncan Kennedy has the details.
Peter Slipper was appointed Speaker of the Lower House in November last year. On Friday, one of his former advisers, James Ashby, filed papers in the federal court outlining a series of allegations. Mr. Ashby, who's gay, claims Mr. Slipper requested massages, asked him for graphic details about his sex life, and sent him suggestive text messages. The Speaker also faces separate allegations he misused parliamentary funds. In a statement, he said he emphatically denied the allegation.
On the sports front, Bolton midfielder Fabrice Mwamba has spoken for the first time about collapsing during a match after a cardiac arrest. 24-year-old Mwamba's heart stopped beating on its own for 78 minutes in last month's FA Cup match at Tottenham, but he has recovered. He says he was expected to have suffered brain damage, but he's alive and well. Taking a quick look at today's expected maximum temperatures: Pretoria 26, Johannesburg 24, Vereeniging 25, Polokwane and Mafeking 27, Rustenburg 26, Bloemfontein 20, Kimberley 23, Cape Town 18, George 16, Port Elizabeth 20, Durban 24, Pietermaritzburg and Windhoek have a maximum of 25 degrees.